Welcome to another edition of Swim Easy Speed. Today this is Freestyle Fundamentals number 3, and this is all going to be about the importance of kind of getting really aligned in your stroke. And what I mean by that is that you want a very kind of linear aspect or linear kind of driving of the stroke. So you don't want anything that's not going really, really straightforward in your stroke. And a lot of that has to do with, shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And, it's water is exceptionally dense, so drag is a huge component of whether or not you're efficient in the water. So if you're creating movements that aren't, where every aspect of that movement isn't driving you forward, then, yeah, it's you're going to be a lot less efficient. So what I'm going to do is we're going to show you what I'm talking about with, and if you guys seen my channel before and the videos that I posted, you'll have seen this. So, you can see this athlete here, and here's what I'm talking about, so if midline is here, you can see that he's crossing over there. So I pretty much see it all the time with triathletes. You see it sometimes with really experienced swimmers. And it's a fairly easy habit to get into. Your hand's entering in a spot where you can't see. Your feel in the water is kind of diminished because you don't have as much body weight. You're prone. And so we want everything, though, to really, really be driven straight forward from that shoulder. And then, you won't have, because you can see right here, let's get rid of you can see where his feet are right there and there. Let's see if we get past this. There we go. Nope, I guess we're not going to be able to play with that. Yeah, and you can see right here. And that big kick in the back right there is all just stabilizing movements for this instability that's getting put into the stroke. So from that. And then partly some of the turn to the breath to the side, you can see right there. Here's kind of the gap between those feet. And remember, we want to be as narrow and compact as possible. We want to create a little bit of tension up and down the body. That's how the body's designed to work, and all the muscles kind of react and interact better with one another. Now, gravity usually takes care of that when we're upright. But in the pool, you've got to create it. So there's some cueing that you want to do. Particularly one of the ones that I use a lot is try to bring your belly button up into your spine. So that's one of the things that you want to do when you're going through this process of trying to correct this stroke. So here's the one drill that I typically use with athletes a lot. You get a PVC pipe. In this case, it's about 18 inches wide. I made it originally for myself, so it's a little bit wider than typically most of the athletes I run into need a pipe that's about somewhere between 10 to about 15 inches wide, where that's kind of the width of their shoulder, and that's where they want to be practicing and playing. So you can see, it's all just everything's really, really aligned, going really straight forward. So here's another angle that you can look at. And, we want to just drive that whole stroke forward so that there isn't any wasted movement. And everything that we're doing is trying to get us to go forward as efficiently as possible. I always like to wear fins on, put fins on, because it allows you to kind of really focus on this. You can almost do kind of a catch-up drill at the front to make sure that you're really recognizing that, oh yeah, I'm in the right spot. And then the fins on top of that will put a little bit more pressure on the core, a little tension on the core that'll help out and help kind of all this musculature engage and get really, really connected. And then, and then you just want to make sure that, you have this in your bag, and you do this before you kind of work on the main set, so that when you work on the main set, you've got a feel for where your hand placement should be. Typically one of the things that'll happen is when you change it from, if, you have an athlete where their hand is entering in kind of more here, and you move it out to here, One of the things that, is typically reported is that it feels like the arm is kind of way out here. And that's okay. That's just your brain and body lying to you. Remember, your brain and body don't like to change. They're always looking for homeostasis. So anytime you enter in and say, hey, we're going to change this up a little bit, there's going to be a little bit of a revolution. So if you are doing it, if it feels wrong, then you're probably going in the right direction for a while. So, but you always want to go back to that feeling. What does it feel like? So, as always, thank you for tuning in, and please like, share, comment, subscribe down below. And if anyone has any questions, please let me know.